way, very scientific way of teaching our students. I would be otherwise, since I am a party person, I do a lot of things, so I would really prefer having the otherwise of it. And yes, I am Lex, and I am currently affiliated with the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. And today, I'll be talking about the adobo meal. So if you already were able to go to the Philippines, you might have heard about the food adobo, which is very popular in our country. And even Filipinos who have already migrated here in the United States are still sharing this food. And yeah, I'm going to talk about altering doubts to bolder, meaningful learning. So if you're going to check that one out, that is actually an acronym of the adobo meal. So it's like altering doubts to bolder, meaningful learning. So for you guys not to be able to forget it, you can just always think of adobo meal. Okay, now what is adobo? And why do we like that? So it's actually a Filipino dish. It is a famous Filipino recipe cooked in soy sauce, vinegar, and garlic. And this is considered by many as the Philippines' national dish because of its popularity, ease in preparation, and long storage life. So if you are always in school, or if you want to live longer, if you don't have enough stipend, you can just cook this one from Sunday, and you can eat it until 2 weeks. Yeah? Okay, and it gets even better every day. Okay? So, yeah. And what did we do at the University of Michigan? So we actually tried to organize this adobo day. So we have a lot of heritage learners. And of course, since they are heritage learners, their parents might have introduced to them already the adobo or any food that can actually distinguish them as Filipinos or something like that, like the culture. So we did this adobo day, and the adobo meal was used to gather the students. So we told our students that, hey, we're gonna eat adobo tomorrow. So they were very excited to go there. And of course, we got a perfect attendance since it's free and they don't need to pay for it, okay? So they went there, and we used that adobo day as an avenue for the students to spend time with each other at the same time with the teacher. So they get to chat, they get to talk about problems, not just in school, about what their experiences were in learning the language, about their difficulties at school. So we talk about anything under the sun. And it was a family experience to the students. So that opened the door to every one of them that, hey, this Filipino class or this language class is not just about teaching language, learning how to pronounce these things, forced by the teacher to really pronounce it really well, and be bombarded with a lot of assignments. So it's not just about that. It's the other way. That's why I was telling you guys that the other presenters were really very strict and perhaps teaching this and that, more on task and more on activities. But my point is that we are all humans. We also have that affect, right? We have learning domains, we have our cognitive, we have our affect, and we have our psychomotor. So it's not just about learning how to do it. It's not just about acquiring knowledge, but also finding a family in the particular subject that we teach. Yeah? Okay. Okay, so why is there a need to alter the doubts? Now, which doubts am I referring to? I am referring to the doubts of learning a particular language and the immersion of a person to a particular culture. Now, if I am a student and if I get inside the classroom, which has a lot of assignments, aside from the subjects that I take, I have a lot of these things here. And the tendency would be like the student would say, this is already a lot for me. So, and also, if they're having a hard time in the classroom, these students, like if they do not feel having a family inside the classroom, they will be afraid to commit mistakes. They will not be able to voice out because they are afraid being bullied by their classmates that he or she does not know how to pronounce it or he did not do well. So all of those things that we actually are not able to see. Because our goal as teachers, we know that. We become very professional. Like, hey, learn this, learn that. And we tend to forget. And we tend to forget to empathize and put ourselves in their shoes. That it's not easy to learn a language, especially that you have just heard of it first. Right? Like if I will immerse myself to French, I'll be like, I still remember my experience at the University of Oregon. Like, the immersion thing.
Yeah.
Like, we went in a classroom, and the teacher was like, hey, something, doing something like that. And we were not able to, what is she talking about? Right? I hope you guys can still remember that if you are from Oregon, or maybe it's the same thing. Like, there is going to be a doubt. The doubt that a student would say, oh, I'm not going to participate because I think my effort will not be counted, or I might just be bullied. Something like that. Now, let me try to introduce you to Juan. This is Juan. He looks like not me. I have a bigger tummy. But we have the same barong. Okay, we call this the national costume. So Juan is a very simple person. He's just an average student who is not that intelligent and not that, not innocent too. So just a normal person just like me. And, Juan also has wants. He wants to eat. He wants to play around. He also has needs, right? And he also has problems. And one of the problems might be you as his teacher. Are you able to get my point? Like, hey, I don't want to go to that class anymore because I hate my teacher. We don't want that to happen. Because, oh, that teacher is very strict and she doesn't care about what I feel. She scolded me when I was late. It's because she did not know that I had problems at home. She doesn't care about that after all. Because what my teacher always tell us is that you need to be here on time. And I don't care about what's happening to you outside the classroom. That is something that we need to consider. And that might really be the problem of one not participating in your class really well. If you are like that, I am a professional. This is such a big word that when you say you are a professional, you wouldn't really care about the feelings of other people. I'm just doing my job. I'm just teaching you. I'm just giving you grades. You're making your grades. So I'm just going to give you what you deserve. We are all like that. And I really think that's why I was trying to craft this presentation also. It's because I want everyone to realize that it's not also easy to be in school, right? And what I'm trying to establish is that students have individual differences and that they would respond to your personality differently and that they will never open up to you about their hardships in learning if you are setting the walls there, that you are a professional. He or she might have a problem going near you. It's because you are very strict and very professional, right? And they will treat you as a stranger. You don't like that. So here, our adobo meal has helped our students to open up and outer doubts to a meaningful learning by truthfully participating in all our class activities. Now, why is it truthfully participating? Because there are students who are just forced to participate. They're just going to stand and participate. It's because it's their grade. So it's a different thing. With this kind of strategy that we introduced in this classroom, we cultivated them to be truthful about what they feel. So, our class has established friendships and built a family. A family wherein, if you are having a hard time, you would go to your teacher and, "Teacher, I'm having a problem with this. Can you help me out with this?" It's like the students are like going to you because they want to learn more about the language that you are introducing to them. Now, I actually have the secret recipe since we're talking about food. This is my own recipe in teaching. So I don't want just to be a professional. I want to be someone who is approachable. Someone that someone who is approachable. Like, unlike, I'm actually trying to, I'm trying to think about myself also way back about my hardships. I don't want to be selfish, that I am not able to feel what my students are feeling. Right? So the secret recipe that I am doing, not just at the University of Michigan, in my whole teaching career, is to have a cup of professional commitment to learning. So we want to teach. We have that. But aside from that, it's another half of personal care. That if our student is not doing well, it doesn't mean that our student doesn't know everything. Maybe our student is really experiencing something. And that, I think we can help that person. Talk about it. Be personal. Next is just 1 liter of patience and understanding. Because sometimes what's happening in the classroom, we tend to get angry to our students without knowing the reasons why. Without even asking the person why he did that. And another thing is the selflessness. Do not just be covered by the walls that it's already time, we need to end this class. And I will not care about you. Let's just talk about these things inside the classroom. Open yourself. Be selfless to your students so that they will be able to realize that you are also caring for their development. And not just professionally, but also personally. And you know, guys, I know you are all teachers. And one of the best things that we can get from our students is when we have taught them, and then when they come back to you, and they tell you, "Thank you so much for your help. I am already a professional right now." Have you ever experienced that? That is the only thing that a teacher can actually be really proud of. Be proud of. Like, I have produced a student, a graduate, who is now a Fulbrighter, who is now changing the whole world. And we want that to happen. So now, I need you guys to prepare for some cooking too. Let's try to create our ingredients. And how? We need to identify first the ingredients that we need to have. So in your handouts, there is actually a column there wherein you can write what are your professional goals as a teacher. Are you professional? Are you personal? Okay, I'll give you a minute to write that one. And also, try to put in your cultural values, the cultural values that you want to instill to your students. The language and embrace the culture that we have, for it is a language that determines the identities of our countries. So I hope that you have learned something about personal care and professionalism in the classroom, and that we become better teachers and good Fulbrighters for the whole world. Thank you very much.